Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Andy, and this is Zumo's Garage. What I wanted to show you here in this video is the front brakes on my CRX. I've pretty much ordered enough parts to rebuild the brake calipers and replace the rotors. This car has been sitting since about 2003, and I got it in 2016. It was in a storage unit, didn't run, had a bunch of oil leaks. I've kind of worked through some of those, but today I'm working on the brakes. Everything that I've taken apart looks pretty good. The replacement rotors I got are just OEM style. They're not any kind of super performance style rotor. I just wanted to get something that was comparable to the original and was new. The original one still had enough material on it probably for me to go take them and get them turned, but I didn't want to mess with them. It's easy just to replace it with a new one. There's, like I said, the old one had enough material on it, but again, newer is always better for me. Anyway, it was cheap. You know, I get most of my parts at Rock Auto. I'm sure a lot of you guys know about Rock Auto. This is not an ad for Rock Auto, but again, they have plenty of parts for most cars. And being that this car is a 86 model, the 84 through the 87 CRX's parts are hard to find. So when I can get them new, I try to get them. Looking at this brake caliper, it's still in pretty good shape. It's just a little dirty. All I have to do is just get in there and clean it. Take the piston out, clean around there as much as I can. Let's go ahead and get it in the vise and see what we can do. I'm going to try to work on this piston. It seems a little frozen, like it's a little stuck. Pushing on it, I can't get it to move very well with my hands. So to get the piston out, I'm going to use air. I found this brass fitting in my toolbox. Not sure what I had it for before, but it fits perfectly into the back of the caliper. So I'll screw it back in there and put the air through it and see if I can get this piston out. Go ahead and fit it back in there, screw it. I don't want to screw it too far deep because I don't want to mess the threads up. So I just hand tightened it. Let's go ahead and get some air on there. Oh yeah. Whoa. Pop the seal on that. So as you can see, you got to be real careful with the air. Be sure you're either got something there holding the piston in or out of the way when it comes out like that. But once I got it out, had to locate it. I found it on the ground. It was pretty good shape, just dirty. Need to wipe it off and clean it up. And it spent most of its life inside brake fluid, so it didn't really get too much water to it. But you could see there at the bottom, when I had it flipped over on the other side, there was a little bit of rust sitting there. So some water got in there somehow. But the caliper looks like in pretty good shape. Looking inside there, it looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and get this old seal out so I can get the new one in. It's not too difficult to get out. It's just a rubber seal that's sitting in a seated area in the caliper. So it's pretty easy to get out. Going to wipe off the inside real quick right here. I'll give it a good cleaning a little bit later before I powder coat this. Eventually, that's what my plan is, to powder coat it. Now I'm going to work on trying to get the bleeder valve out. When I was working on the car before, trying to get the brakes bled, to get the brakes working, I was having trouble getting that thing out. It was starting to round off using my line wrench, but I was able to get it. I actually have a set of sockets that work on stripped bolts, and it fit over that, so I was able to break it loose. But now I can just put a regular wrench on it and get it out. It's, of course, 10 millimeter. But once I get it out, I'll get it all cleaned up and get it ready to be powder coated. I was also tapping on a clip there. There's a clip there that holds the brake shoes against the rotor when it's installed. Now I'll get that clip out too. So I've got this old can of parts cleaner. I'll toss it in there, let it soak for a little while, pull it out, scrub it real good, and then throw it in the sandblaster to get it sandblasted. So here's the wheel I'm going with. It is a 15 by 6.5 Roto Grid. It's obviously the copycat of the Volk TE37s. I can't afford those, so this is why I got this wheel. I found it on Craigslist, the set for about $200. They were originally bronze, the bronze face, but I noticed when I got them home and cleaned up that around some of the spokes and the bends, it was kind of thin. So since I powder coat stuff at home, I thought, well, shoot, I could probably just powder coat these whatever color I wanted. So I sprayed some stripper on them, let that sit, and shit just hosed right off. It was pretty cool how good the finish was underneath. It's not a polished 100% bright, but it's good enough. So if whatever I decide to do with them, I could leave them like that or powder coat them. So I don't know if I should powder coat them just the spokes and leave the polished lip, or a whole color, or what. Maybe you guys can help me decide. Alright guys, that's all I got for this video. One side down, one to go. Also, be sure to check out my other videos of the other projects I have going on here in Zumo's garage. I powder coat bikes, tumblers. I also make custom decals. I don't think I have any videos of that up, but maybe I'll get some up of that. But there's plenty of videos of me working on bikes. These bikes I build with together with my brother. We also have a Instagram page for that. It's called Los Muertos Customs. I'll put a link for that at the bottom. And then I've got one for my car called at Gen 1 CRX. I'll also put a link for that down there. There I post project pictures of the car, and also any picture I find on the internet of any other 84, 87 first gen CRX. See you later, guys.